Have you ever felt a strange restlessness in your heart? A quiet stirring that tells you something is about to change, even though nothing around you looks different. It feels like standing at the edge of a horizon you cannot yet see, sensing a presence approaching but unable to name it. This is not ordinary longing. It is the soul whispering that love is near. In those moments, the air feels charged. Coincidences no longer feel like accidents, and your very being begins to prepare for someone who will not simply walk into your life, but awaken a part of you that has been waiting all along. There comes a moment in every life when the air feels charged, when the ordinary begins to shimmer with hidden meaning, and you sense that something extraordinary is drawing near. You may not be able to name it, but your soul knows. The arrival of love has already begun to echo through your being. The unconscious longing that stirs within a person before love enters their life is not a simple desire or a fleeting thought, but a deep and ancient call rising from the depths of the soul. It is as though something hidden within awakens, reaching toward the surface, quietly but insistently shaping the way one feels, dreams, and perceives the world. This longing is often misunderstood at first, because it is not necessarily directed toward a specific person or image. Instead, it manifests as an unexplainable restlessness, a sense of incompleteness, or even an ache that cannot be soothed by ordinary distractions. A person may find themselves pausing more often, gazing at the horizon, or feeling that their everyday routines no longer satisfy them in the same way. What is happening here is the stirring of a deeper need for union, not only with another human being but with an unseen part of themselves that has been waiting to be recognized. This longing often appears in moments of quiet, when the noise of the world fades and one is left with the silence of their own thoughts. It is in these moments that the heart whispers of something greater, of a bond that goes beyond companionship and touches the very essence of being. This longing is the first sign that the soul is preparing for love, because before one can meet another in truth, they must feel the call to completeness within. Love is not simply an arrival of another person. It is an awakening of what has been asleep within you. The yearning that arises is not a weakness or a lack, but a signal that the inner world is ready to grow, to expand, to embrace what has been missing. Often, this longing carries with it a sense of anticipation, as though life itself is preparing to shift. A person might notice themselves becoming more sensitive to beauty, more attuned to music, art, or poetry, or more deeply moved by the small gestures of kindness around them. These heightened sensitivities are expressions of the soul's readiness to experience connection on a profound level. What was once taken for granted begins to feel luminous, as if the heart knows that something significant approaches and is already stretching itself to receive it. At times, the longing may also feel like loneliness, but in truth it is not the loneliness of emptiness, but the loneliness of preparation. It is the soul's way of making space, of clearing the ground for what is to come. Just as the earth must be tilled before seeds are planted, the heart must be stirred before love can take root. This restlessness is not punishment but promise, not absence but the gentle foreshadowing of presence. It arises because the inner self senses what the conscious mind cannot yet see, and through this mysterious call, it begins to prepare the individual for the arrival of a love that will not merely fill a void, but awaken a deeper wholeness within. When love is about to enter a person's life, the world around them often begins to whisper through patterns and coincidences that feel strangely significant. These are not ordinary events, but moments of synchronicity, where the outer world reflects the hidden movements of the inner world. A song that speaks directly to your heart may play at the very moment you are lost in thought about connection, or a certain symbol may reappear again and again, carrying with it a sense of meaning that cannot be explained by chance. You may keep seeing the same numbers, crossing paths with the same person unexpectedly, or dreaming of images that later show themselves in waking life. These small yet powerful events act like signposts on the road of destiny, assuring you that something larger is guiding you toward what you are meant to encounter. Synchronicities occur most often when the heart is opening, when the unconscious is preparing the conscious mind for a transformation. Love, being one of the most profound transformations a person can undergo, naturally summons these moments of alignment. It is as if the universe begins to weave threads in front of you, drawing your attention to the fact that you are not moving through life alone, but are instead part of a deeper design. These moments feel intimate and mysterious because they touch something beyond logic. They invite you to trust that life knows more than you do, and that what is approaching is not random, but meant to be. Often, synchronicities carry the energy of anticipation. A repeated encounter with a stranger might feel insignificant at first, but begins to press upon your awareness until you realize it holds a message. A dream may reveal a face or a feeling that lingers with you for days, leaving you with the sense that you have glimpsed something from your future. The mind may try to dismiss these experiences, but the heart feels their truth, sensing that they are preparing you for someone who is about to step into your path. These coincidences are not meant to answer every question, but to open you to wonder. They encourage you to let go of control and to recognize that love does not arrive through force, but through alignment. By noticing these signs, you begin to participate in the dialogue between yourself and the larger order of existence. It is a dialogue that reminds you that love is not only a human pursuit, but also a sacred unfolding, one that involves both the seen and the unseen. Through synchronicity, the boundaries between inner and outer worlds become thinner, and you feel that your very soul is in conversation with life itself. This sense of dialogue is the preparation, the quiet assurance that love is near, and that when it arrives, it will feel not like a surprise, but like the fulfillment of something that has been quietly orchestrated all along. Before true love can enter, the soul often insists that the hidden parts of oneself come to the surface. This is the appearance of the inner shadows, the unresolved wounds and silent fears that have long lived in the background but now demand to be seen. These shadows do not come forward to punish, but to prepare. Love requires truth, and truth cannot coexist with denial or concealment. When you begin to sense that love is near, life has a way of pulling your insecurities, jealousies, and old pains into the light, because they must be faced if you are to meet another with honesty and depth. This unveiling of the shadow can feel uncomfortable. A person may find themselves more easily triggered, revisiting memories of betrayal, rejection, or abandonment. Emotions once buried rise to the surface, sometimes without clear cause. You may wonder why you feel unsettled just when you most wish to feel open and ready. Yet this turbulence is necessary. Love cannot flourish in a soil where unhealed wounds lie untouched, because those wounds will eventually shape the way you see and treat the one who enters your life. By bringing them forward beforehand, the soul is inviting you to clear away what would otherwise distort the purity of the bond. Facing the shadow means recognizing that parts of yourself carry pain, fear, and imperfection. It is about meeting the parts of you that doubt your worth, that fear intimacy, or that cling too tightly in desperation. These aspects are not your enemies. They are the neglected children of your inner world, calling out for acknowledgement. To turn away from them is to carry them into the new relationship unhealed, where they may sabotage what could have been sacred. To embrace them, however, is to create space for a connection that is grounded in authenticity and compassion. The arrival of shadow work before love is also a form of protection. Life does not wish for you to bring someone close only to repeat the same patterns of the past. It urges you to see what you have avoided so that when love arrives, it finds you ready to engage without masks. This process can sometimes bring solitude, as the soul uses quiet to confront what the noise of company often hides. It can feel heavy, but it is a sacred cleansing, a necessary threshold before entering the realm of genuine intimacy. In many ways, the shadows are gifts. They point to the places where love will heal you most deeply. They reveal the spaces within that are yearning for light. By meeting these inner truths, you do not chase love away. You create the very conditions that allow it to stay. When the shadows emerge, it is not a sign that you are unworthy of love, but that you are being readied for a bond that will not merely decorate your life, but transform it at its very core. When love is about to step into your life, there is often an unmistakable shift in energy that cannot be explained by external events alone. It feels as if something within you begins to change direction, opening pathways that were once closed. This shift may express itself through a sudden sense of vitality, as though the air feels lighter and your movements more alive. You may notice an inner restlessness, not the kind that leaves you anxious, but the kind that urges you to grow, to create, to seek experiences beyond the familiar. It is as if a current of energy flows through you, preparing your heart to receive something greater than it has ever known. This transformation can take many subtle forms. You might find yourself drawn to new interests, new music, or even new places without fully understanding why. The old routines that once seemed comfortable may now feel limiting, and instead there is a desire to step into unknown territory. These impulses are not random. They are signs of the soul stretching, expanding to make space for love. The energy within you becomes magnetic, reaching outward, and this unseen force has a way of calling love closer, drawing it into your orbit. Sometimes the shift feels like heightened sensitivity. Colors seem brighter, words carry more weight, and the presence of beauty moves you more deeply than before. What once passed unnoticed now feels significant, as if the world itself is speaking directly to you. This openness is a preparation, because love thrives in the heart that is awake to wonder. By sensing more fully, by feeling more vividly, you are already stepping into the kind of perception that allows true connection to flourish. At the same time, the transformation may carry moments of unease. Change rarely comes without discomfort, and the stirring of energy within you can feel like standing on the edge of something vast and unknown. You may sense both excitement and vulnerability, anticipation mixed with uncertainty. This tension is part of the preparation, for love requires courage, and courage can only awaken when you stand before what you cannot fully predict or control. The restlessness that rises is not a flaw, but a signal, a reminder that your soul is opening its doors wider than before. This inner shift is not merely emotional, it is spiritual. It is the realignment of your inner being with the greater rhythm of life. When love is near, you are drawn into harmony with that rhythm, and the energy you feel is the resonance of your own soul with what approaches. It is an invisible invitation being written across your heart, a call to step into a new chapter. The transformation does not only prepare you to meet another person, but to meet yourself at a deeper level, to encounter aspects of your spirit that only love can reveal. Through this opening, you become not just ready for love, but also worthy of its profound arrival. When love is near, life begins to arrange encounters that feel less like chance and more like recognition. This is the moment when the mirror of the other appears, the person who reflects not only what you already know about yourself, but also what has long remained hidden. It is through this mirror that you come face to face with the depths of your being, the unspoken desires, the fears you tried to bury, and the strengths you never fully claimed. Such a meeting does not happen with just anyone. It happens with the one who carries within them a resonance that awakens your soul, the one who seems to shine a light on the corners of your heart that had remained in shadow until their presence revealed them. The mirror of the other does not flatter your ego. It does not simply show you an image of perfection or tell you what you want to hear. Instead, it stirs something far more profound. Their presence can feel unsettling at first because it touches the very core of who you are. You may feel as though you have known them forever, even if you have just met, or as though their gaze pierces straight through the layers you have carefully constructed over time. This intensity is not meant to frighten but to awaken, for it signals that this meeting is more than coincidence. It is a call to growth, a call to step into love that is not shallow, but transformative. The mirror also reveals vulnerability. In their presence, defenses fall away, not because you choose to drop them, but because they no longer make sense. Pretenses lose their power, and the raw truth of your being comes forward. You may notice feelings that rise unexpectedly, joy that feels overwhelming, or fear that feels unshakable. This is the work of the mirror, showing you the tender places where love is most needed. By encountering another in this way, you are offered the chance to heal wounds you could not face alone. Love becomes not only about companionship, but about the sacred act of seeing and being seen, of holding and being held in the fullness of your humanity. At the same time, the mirror reflects your strengths, the qualities you may have overlooked in yourself. Your resilience, your compassion, your courage are suddenly made visible in the way this person responds to you. They reflect back to you the light you carry, and in their eyes you begin to recognize what has always been within you. This recognition can be startling, but it is also liberating, because it allows you to step into love not from a place of emptiness, but from a place of wholeness. The appearance of the mirror is one of the clearest signs that love is about to enter your life. It is not always easy, for mirrors show everything, both the beauty and the pain. Yet it is through this encounter that the path to true intimacy opens, offering a bond that does not merely decorate your life but transforms it, shaping you into the fullest expression of who you are meant to be. Love does not step into our lives as an accident, nor does it arrive without preparation. It is a journey that begins long before two souls meet face to face. The signs of its coming are etched into the heart and whispered through the fabric of daily life, guiding you toward the threshold of transformation. When you feel the deep yearning that cannot be explained, when your soul begins to ache for something more, that is the first signal that love is approaching. It is not the weakness of longing, but the stirring of an ancient call, the reminder that within you lives a desire for wholeness that can no longer remain silent. This longing is the soil being prepared for a new seed to be planted. Soon after, life begins to show its alignment through synchronicities. What others dismiss as coincidence becomes for you a thread of meaning, woven carefully by unseen hands. Symbols repeat themselves, dreams carry weight, faces appear in ways that feel intentional. These are not accidents, but signs that your inner and outer worlds are coming into harmony, readying you for an encounter that will reshape your life. It is as if existence itself conspires to prepare you, whispering through events that love is not far away. Yet before love can truly enter, the shadows must rise. Old wounds come forward, insecurities awaken, and buried fears make themselves known. Though uncomfortable, this is not punishment. It is purification. For love cannot be built on illusions or masks. It must rest on the foundation of truth. To confront the shadow is to honor yourself, to clear the hidden obstacles that would distort the purity of your bond. In facing these inner truths, You prepare to meet another, not as a fragment searching for completion, but as a soul ready to be seen fully. Then comes the shift in energy, the unmistakable transformation that stirs your very being. You may feel more alive, more creative, more sensitive to beauty. The world feels lighter, more vivid, as though preparing you to perceive the depth of love when it arrives. This restlessness, this surge of vitality, is the signal that your spirit is opening, aligning itself with what is destined to come. It is life's way of attuning your heart to a higher frequency, so that when love enters, you are ready to receive it in its fullness. Finally, the mirror appears, the one who reflects back to you your hidden wounds and your forgotten strengths. In their presence, you see yourself more clearly than ever before. They awaken what you have long denied and illuminate what you have always carried within. This mirror is not merely another person. They are the catalyst for your transformation, the partner through whom you will come to know yourself in deeper truth. So, when love enters, it does not come as a stranger. It comes as the fulfillment of every whisper, every trial, every moment of awakening that prepared you. Nothing was random, nothing was wasted. Every step brought you here to the threshold where love does not simply decorate your life, but transforms it, calling you into the wholeness you were always meant to embrace.